cause an explosion and possessing ammonium nitrate for the purposes of terrorism. Britain's second largest home loan provider, Abbey, says it'll now lend couples up to 5 times their salary. It'll only apply to better off couples, and Abbey is not the first. Other smaller lenders have already relaxed their rules on incomes and loan sizes, but it comes as figures this week suggest house prices are rising strongly. I'm joined now by our economics editor, Evan Davis. And Evan, just a few years ago, 5 times your salary would have been seen as reckless. Why has such a major lender abandoned this policy?
The multiples of salary have gone a little out of fashion, Dermot. The truth is most lenders think what really matters is the monthly repayments relative to income rather than the size of the mortgage, and with relatively low interest, people can afford more than they would have on old-style big mortgages. But I think it's particularly important for people to remember that just because someone will lend you 5 or 500 times your salary doesn't mean that it's necessarily a good idea to borrow it. People need to ask themselves what their circumstances are like, how secure their income is. And I think with this dizzying talk of high house prices and high multiples, a lot of people might be inclined to stretch themselves massively, thinking that nothing matters because if anything goes wrong, they can sell the house at a big profit. And I've got a bit of a graph here, which I think is always a good thing to look at. It goes back 30 years, a good long-term graph of what's been happening to house prices. And you see they normally go up. But if you plot the sort of trend line on there, the kind of average over the years, you see that today, at the end of that line, they really are quite high-priced, which doesn't mean you shouldn't buy a house, but it means you shouldn't buy one assuming that they're going to go on up and up and up.
Now, one of the other big risks, Evan, is the direction of interest rates, and it's thought they might go up next week.
Yep, the decision next week. I would be gobsmacked if interest rates didn't go up by a quarter point next week. So it means if you've taken a 5 times salary mortgage, you'll be paying a base rate, facing a base rate of 5%. Now, a year ago, I think a lot of us thought 5% was probably as high as they would go. That was the kind of outer limit of our expectations. I was at a city breakfast this week where the words 6% were uttered. It's not what people were expecting, but the fact that they were even uttered shows that the mood, if you like, about interest rates has drifted up quite a bit.
OK, Evan, thank you very much. The Pakistan fast bowler Shoaib Akhtar has been banned from playing international and domestic cricket for 2 years. Akhtar, who's 31, was punished by the Pakistan Cricket Board